I am Ludwig van Beethoven, born on December 17, 1770, in Bonn, a small city in the Electorate of Cologne, within the Holy Roman Empire, modern-day Germany. My life has been a symphony of triumph and torment, shaped by genius, hardship, and an unrelenting passion for music. Let me tell you my story, how I rose from obscurity to revolutionize the world of sound, even as I battled the silence of deafness. I was the second of 7 children, though only 3 of us survived infancy. My father, Johann van Beethoven, was a court musician who recognized my talent at a young age. Unfortunately, he was also an abusive and demanding man. He envisioned me as the next Mozart and forced me to practice piano relentlessly, often waking me in the middle of the night to perform for his drunken friends. Despite his cruelty, my father introduced me to music, and for that I am grateful. My grandfather, also named Ludwig, was a Kapellmeister, a respected musician, and his legacy inspired me. By the age of 7, I was already giving public performances, though my father lied about my age to make me seem more precocious. At 11, I left school to focus entirely on music. My teacher, Christian Gottlieb Niffy, introduced me to the works of Bach and helped me publish my first composition at the age of 12. Niffy believed in my talent and encouraged me to pursue a career beyond the confines of Bonn. In 1787, at 16, I traveled to Vienna, the cultural capital of Europe, with the hope of studying under Mozart. Unfortunately, my visit was cut short when my mother fell gravely ill. I returned home to care for her and my younger siblings after her death. My father, consumed by alcoholism, became incapable of supporting the family, so I took on the role of provider. These years of hardship strengthened my resolve but left little time for personal dreams. Finally, in 1792, I moved to Vienna for good, this time to study under Joseph Haydn, the great composer. Haydn was a kind mentor, though we sometimes clashed. I was fiercely independent and often unwilling to follow traditional rules. In Vienna, I also studied with Johann Albrechtsberger and Antonio Salieri, expanding my knowledge of composition and counterpoint. Vienna became my home and my stage. I quickly gained a reputation as a brilliant pianist, known for my fiery performances and improvisations. My talent caught the attention of patrons such as Prince Lichnowsky, who supported me financially and socially. In the 1790s, my first major works were published: piano sonatas, string quartets, and symphonies that demonstrated my originality and mastery. My piano sonata No. 8 in C minor, known as the Pathetique, captivated audiences with its emotional depth. I sought to infuse my music with drama and passion, breaking away from the polite conventions of the classical style. My Symphony No. 1 premiered in 1800, and it was clear that I was a force to be reckoned with. The symphony was rooted in the traditions of Haydn and Mozart but carried a boldness that was uniquely mine. Vienna embraced me as one of its greatest musicians, and I thrived on the admiration. Around the age of 26, I began to notice a ringing in my ears. At first, I tried to ignore it, but the condition worsened. By my early 30s, I was losing my hearing, a devastating blow for a musician. I withdrew from society, fearing ridicule and pity. In 1802, while staying in the village of Heiligenstadt, I wrote a letter to my brothers that came to be known as the Heiligenstadt Testament. In it, I confessed my despair and contemplated ending my life. But I also resolved to overcome my affliction through my art. I will seize fate by the throat. It shall not wholly overcome me, I wrote. And so, I chose to live for my music, for my mission. Deafness did not stop me. In fact, it spurred me to new heights. Between 1803 and 1812, I entered what is now called my heroic period. I composed works that redefined the boundaries of music, expressing themes of struggle and triumph. My Symphony No. 3 in E-flat major, the Eroica, was originally dedicated to Napoleon Bonaparte, whom I admired as a symbol of freedom and revolution. However, when Napoleon declared himself emperor, I was enraged and scratched out the dedication. The Eroica became a testament to heroism and individuality, themes that resonated deeply with me. In 1808, I premiered my Symphony No. 5 in C minor, perhaps my most famous work. Its opening motif, da-da-da-dum, has become iconic. To me, it symbolized fate knocking at the door, a struggle against adversity that ends in victory. This symphony, like much of my music, was a reflection of my own life. By the 1810s, I was almost completely deaf. I could no longer perform in public or conduct my works. Communication became difficult, and I relied on notebooks to converse with others. Despite this, my creative spirit burned brighter than ever. My late compositions were groundbreaking. The Missa Solemnis, a monumental choral work, expressed my deep spirituality. My Piano Sonata No. 29 in B-flat major, the Hammerklavier, pushed the limits of what a piano could do. And then there was my Symphony No. 9 in D minor, completed in 1824. This symphony, with its choral finale set to Friedrich Schiller's Ode to Joy, was a revolutionary masterpiece. It celebrated universal brotherhood, a vision of humanity united in joy and peace. When it premiered, I stood on stage, unable to hear the applause. A kind musician turned me toward the audience so I could see their standing ovation. My later years were marked by ill health, financial struggles, and loneliness. I fought legal battles over the guardianship of my nephew, Carl, whom I loved as a son. My relationships with friends and patrons became strained, but my music remained my solace. I died on March 26, 1827, in Vienna, at the age of 56. Thousands attended my funeral, a testament to the impact of my life and work. Though my journey was fraught with hardship, I found purpose in my art and left behind a legacy that would inspire generations. I am Ludwig van Beethoven, a man who transformed music forever. My works bridged the classical and romantic eras, pushing the boundaries of form and emotion. I turned personal suffering into universal expression, proving that the human spirit can overcome even the darkest trials. Music was my voice when my ears failed me, and through it I still speak.